press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome back to the video classes. Today it is part 14 of organic chemistry, some basic principles and techniques. In the previous class we discussed about the IUPAC system of naming the organic compounds. It is a second system to name the organic compounds. So as I said in the previous class, there are three parts in the IUPAC name of the given organic compound, and this IUPAC system is systematic naming of the organic compounds, and it is scientifically derived system, and this is based on the structural formula of the given organic compound. And the IUPAC name of the given organic compound consisting of three parts. First one is the root word. The root word indicates the number of carbon atoms present in a selected parent carbon chain. The selected parent carbon chain is that the carbon chain in a given organic compound is a longest continuous carbon chain containing the maximum possible number of functional groups, multiple bonds and the carbon atoms. So, that root word is the basic unit in the IUPAC name. And the second part is a suffix, and this suffix indicates the nature of the carbon chain and also it indicates the nature of the functional group. So, therefore, suffix is classified into two types, primary suffix and the secondary suffix. So, the primary suffix, in the previous class I discussed about the primary suffix. It indicates the nature of the carbon chain, whether it is saturated or the unsaturated. If a carbon chain where the carbon atoms are joined only by a single sigma bond, then the chain is saturated, then we have to use the primary suffix as ane. If a double or a triple bonds are present in a given selected carbon chain, then you can say the carbon chain is unsaturated one, correct? Now, if unsaturated carbon chain is there, double and a triple bond can be denoted by using ene and ine as a primary suffix. And this primary suffix is always added after the root word, Now, let us move on to the second one called, as I said, the second part in the IUPAC system is suffix, correct? In suffix, already we discussed the first one, that is primary suffix. Let us move on to secondary suffix. Secondary suffix. So, what is the secondary suffix indicates? Secondary suffix indicates the nature of the functional group in a given organic compound. So, it indicates the nature of the functional group present in a given organic compound. And this secondary suffix is always added to the secondary suffix. You can also denote like this, 2 degree suffix. 2 degree suffix. Okay. So, primary suffix. First comes here root word, into which after root word you have to add primary suffix and you have to add secondary suffix to the primary suffix. You have to add secondary suffix to the primary suffix. So, what are the primary suffix possible here? Ane, ene and ine. So, three primary suffix here, either ane or ene or ine, correct? So, we have to add secondary suffix to the primary suffix. While adding secondary suffix to the primary suffix, we have to replace or we have to drop the terminal e of the primary suffix. I will repeat, while adding secondary suffix to the primary suffix, so we have to replace the terminal e of the primary suffix. In all the primary suffix we have e here. So, by replacing terminal e of the primary suffix, we have to add the secondary suffix. Okay, but it depends on the nature of the functional group. It depends on the nature of the functional group, which means to say the secondary suffix of the given functional group, if it starts with an oval A or E or I or O or U, if the secondary suffix of the given functional group, if it starts with an oval, then while adding secondary suffix to the primary suffix, we have to drop the terminal E of the primary suffix. If the secondary suffix of the given functional group, if it starts with A, E, I, O, so this possibility is very less, because at present there is no functional group which can give the secondary suffix U here, so that you can expect the secondary suffix of a functional group may starts by A or E or I or O. If the secondary suffix of the given functional group starts with A, E, I, O, then you have to drop the terminal E. You have to drop the terminal E of the primary suffix, because in IUPAC name we cannot place the two ovals together. That is the condition. Therefore, while adding secondary suffix to the primary suffix, we have to drop the terminal E of the primary suffix. That depends on the nature of the functional group. What is the nature of the functional group here stands for, if a secondary suffix of the given functional group, if it starts with the letter A, E, I, O, then we have to drop the terminal E of the primary suffix. Okay. Now, let us move on to what are all the secondary suffix that we can give for different functional group. So, write on the table for secondary suffix now. Write on the table. So, you need to practice all these tables, whatever I am giving in 3 parts of IUPAC name. You have to remember the root word and primary suffix, secondary suffix and also prefix. Okay. Now, let us move on to the secondary suffix. Secondary suffix. So, here make a column functional group, and in a second column you write secondary suffix for the given functional group. So, this is functional group and secondary suffix for the given functional group. Already you know the list of functional groups present in the given organic compound. I have given in a previous classes. Again, write on one more table here. Functional group. And here is secondary suffix. Secondary suffix. Now, so let me give the functional group one by one. The first functional group will be OH. You know that it is hydroxyl and it belongs to alcohols. Belongs to alcohols. That's the functional group of alcohols. What is the secondary suffix if OH group is present? So, you have to write the secondary suffix OL. OL is the secondary suffix if the alcoholic group is present. So, I have given hyphen before the suffix because we have to add the secondary suffix to the primary suffix. Therefore, we have to use hyphen before the suffix. And the second one, that is C double bond OH. You know that carboxylic acids. So, this belongs to carboxylic acids. So, if COOH group is present, C double bond OOH group is present, then you have to write oic acid. What is the secondary suffix for this? Oic acid. So you can write in this way COOH, oic acid. Then third one, if C double bond O. So you know that it is an ester group, COO. So it is an functional group of esters. C double bond O, COO, and as you know that it is a non-terminal functional group, then the secondary suffix will be O8. What is the secondary suffix? O8. O8 is the secondary suffix. And the fourth one, if you take, that is C double bond OH, or you can write it as CHO, and it is the functional group of which class of organic compounds? Aldehydes. Correct? CHO, C double bond OH or CHO, this is the functional group of aldehydes. Correct? Then you have to write Al. So OL is for alcohols, Al is for aldehydes. Now fifth one, C double bond O, C double bond O, that is, you can write like this. It is also a non-terminal functional group, and the class of organic compounds are ketones. Then you have to use the secondary suffix on. Here we cannot tell it as one, it is on. You have to name it as on. That is the secondary suffix for ketones. Okay, you have to pronounce like on, not one. It is on. And the sixth one, here it is C double bond O X. X may be chlorine, bromine or the iodine. So here COX is the functional group. You can give the abbreviation here, and it is belongs to acid halides. It belongs to acid halides. Correct? So derivative of acids, acid halides. And what is the secondary suffix here? Oil halide. Oil halide. So oil halide is the secondary suffix. While writing oil halide, so you should not leave any space between oil and the halide. So you have to write it continuously without giving the space. So oil halide is the secondary suffix if it is acid chloride. Then if it is CN, that is cyanides, then the secondary suffix will be nitrile. So secondary suffix is nitrile. If it is isocyanide, so they are isocyanides. If it is isocyanide, so how to write the structure here? N. So this is C triple bond N. Correct? Cyanides and isocyanides. Then the secondary suffix will be isonitrile you can use, and even you can use carbylamine. So if isocyanide is there, then you have to use isonitrile or carbylamine. That is the secondary suffix if isocyanide functional group is there. Now we can move on to again alcohols. OL is a secondary suffix, and this is a carboxylic acid functional group if it is there, oic acid. Ester functional group if it is there, then it is O8, and aldehyde functional group if it is there, CHO, then the secondary suffix will be Al. Then ketone, functional group of ketones if it is present, then on is the secondary suffix. And acid halide functional group, C double bond OX, where X is either chlorine, bromine or the iodine if it is there, then oil halide. If chlorine is there, oil chloride, it ends with IDE. If iodine is there, oil iodide. If bromine is there, oil bromide. Like that you can give the secondary suffix for the given functional group of acid halides. Next one is cyanides. Cn if it is there, then the secondary suffix will be nitrile. If isocyanide functional groups are present, then the secondary suffix will be isonitrile, or you can also write it as carbyl amine. Carbyl amine is the secondary suffix. Now let me give the next one here. So the next one, if it is C double bond ONH2, C double bond ONH2, or you can write it as CONH2, and this functional group belongs to amides. If this functional group belongs to amides, amides are again the derivatives of acids, then the secondary suffix will be amide. Secondary suffix will be amide. And the next one is, if SO3H group, if it is present. So SO3H group is a functional group of sulfonic acid. Sulfonic acids. So functional group of sulfonic acids if it is present. So you have to take a sulfonic acid as a secondary suffix. Sulfonic acid itself is a secondary suffix for class of sulfonic acids if SO3H group is present. So then 11th one, you can take SH. SH here stands for thioalcohols, correct? So thioalcohols. So belongs to the class of thioalcohols, and secondary suffix will be thiol. Thiol is the secondary suffix. And 12th one, it is NH2. It is a functional group of, you know that it is a functional group of primary amines. Primary amines, and the secondary suffix will be amine. The secondary suffix will be amine itself. So this is amide, sulfonic acid, thiol if SH is present, NH2 if it is present, then it is amine. Now let us move on to the last one. It is the last functional group of the compound. Last functional group, it is C double bond O, and C double bond O. You know that it is acid anhydrides. Functional group of acid anhydrides. So I think you remembered what do you mean by acid anhydrides? The compounds which are obtained by removing one molecule of water from two molecules of carboxylic acids. Then that group is called anhydride group. This is the anhydride group, C double bond O, C double bond O. So this is the anhydride functional group that you have to remember. So the name of the compound, so here it is anhydride, then oic anhydride. So then what is the secondary suffix for this? Oic anhydride. Oic anhydride. See here, COOH, that we have to write C double bond OH and C double bond OH. So we have to remove one molecule of water. So sorry, here one more option I have written additional COO. So this is the functional group of the acid anhydrides by removing one molecule of water from two molecules of carboxylic acids, C double bond O, C double bond O. So this is acid anhydride, acid anhydride. So this is the functional group of acid anhydride. So the secondary suffix for that is oic anhydride. Oic anhydride is the secondary suffix. So this is about the secondary suffix for different functional groups, and as I said, secondary suffix is added to primary suffix. While adding secondary suffix to the primary suffix, we have to drop the terminal E of the primary suffix. That depends on the nature of the functional group. So let me give few examples for this. Few examples. So you need to remember this table properly. This is very important for you, and this is the basic in organic chemistry. If you know the nature of the functional group and the suffix what we have to use for the given functional group, then you can write the name of the organic compounds very easily. Now let me have one organic compound here which containing 5 carbon atoms. The given organic compound in which I selected a chain which is a parent carbon chain, selected parent carbon chain, and that selected parent carbon chain, if it contains 5 carbon atoms, and what will be the root word? So the root word, now we have 2 parts here, root word, primary suffix and the secondary suffix, primary suffix and the secondary suffix. So all the carbon atoms are joined by a single bond, and at the end if it containing aldehyde functional group. So functional group here is aldehyde functional group. How many carbon atoms total present? 5 carbon atoms are there. And what is the nature of the carbon chain? Definitely saturated, because no double bond is here. Then what is the root word? In a parent chain it is pent, because 5 carbon atoms. What is primary suffix? ANE. If aldehyde functional group is there, what is the secondary suffix? It is AL. AL is the secondary suffix if aldehyde CHO group is there. Correct. Now, while adding the secondary suffix to the primary suffix, we need to drop the terminal E. That depends on the secondary suffix. As secondary suffix starts from A, it is also an oval, therefore we need to drop this terminal A. Then what is the name? Pentanol. Pentanol. So the name of the compound becomes pentanol. Name of the compound becomes pentanol here. So in that way we have to add root word and then the primary suffix and the secondary suffix. So we have to add secondary suffix to the primary suffix, and together we need to add this to the root word. So this is the 3 parts it containing: root word, primary suffix and the secondary suffix. So how to add secondary suffix to the primary suffix? By dropping the terminal E. That depends on the nature of the functional group. Now let me give one more example. There are 3 carbon atoms in a selected carbon chain, and it containing cyanide as a functional group. Cyanide as a functional group. Now, so 3 carbon atoms are there, and this is containing 1 double bond, then it becomes unsaturated. Let me write root word and primary suffix and then secondary suffix. So root word depends on number of carbon atoms. 3 is there. Therefore, prop is the root word for a carbon atom, 3 carbon atoms. So prop is the root word. What is primary suffix? Ene is the primary suffix. The reason is there is a 1 carbon to carbon double bond. Therefore, ene is the primary suffix. What is the secondary suffix? So the functional group here is cyanide. Therefore, the secondary suffix is nitrile. Just you look at the table that just now I have given. What is the secondary suffix for a cyanide functional group? It is nitrile. Now you have to add secondary suffix to the primary suffix. But look at while adding secondary suffix to the primary suffix. So whether we need to drop the terminal E here or not? No, need not to drop the terminal E, because the secondary suffix of the cyanide group does not containing any vowel, that is A, E, I, O. So therefore it starts with N, therefore you can directly add it to the primary suffix. Then what is the name? Propene nitrile. Propene nitrile. Propene nitrile. So I have not dropped the terminal E here, because the secondary suffix of the cyanide does not starts with an vowel. So therefore, I retain the terminal E of the primary suffix. So this is the difference while adding secondary suffix to the primary suffix. So this is just an example how to add secondary suffix to the primary suffix, but this is not the actual IUPAC name, but it follows some rules of IUPAC name where we are adding secondary suffix to the primary suffix. Just I am giving the example how to add secondary suffix to the primary suffix. While adding secondary suffix to the primary suffix, it is we need to drop the terminal E of the primary suffix here. Okay. Now let us move on to the next part of IUPAC name. So write down the third part of IUPAC name. So third part of IUPAC name, it is prefix. It is prefix. What do you mean by prefix? Prefix is always added before the root word. Prefix before the root word. Before going to that, what do you mean by prefix? What it indicates in the IUPAC name? This prefix indicates substituent groups. Nature of substituent groups. So prefix indicates the nature of the substituent groups present in a given organic compound. So just now we have given primary suffix that gives the multiple bonds and also single bond, and we considered multiple bonds are also functional groups. But while classifying the functional groups, we can classify multiple bonds as a secondary functional groups, because if in a given organic compound, if CHO group is there, then double bond is also there, then we need to give the preference for CHO. This is the group which actually gives the complete properties of the organic compounds rather than the double bond. Then we can classify the groups as primary functional group and the secondary functional group. Means we are giving less preference to double bond when the functional group is present. Then we can consider double bond as a secondary functional group. Along with the CHO and double bond, for example, if NO2 group is present or methyl group if it is present, methyl group in general we can represent it as a R group. R group is nothing but alkyl group. R group is nothing but alkyl group, which means to say along with the aldehyde group and a multiple bond, if nitro group is there or the methyl groups are there, then preference goes to functional group again, and then to the multiple bonds, and finally to these groups. Therefore, these groups are nothing but the substituent groups. You can also call them as secondary functional groups. So these groups are called substituent groups because they are obtained from the loss of one atom from the neutral molecules. All these are obtained from the loss of one atom from the neutral molecules. For example, so chloro group is there, substituent group. It is obtained from chlorine by the loss of one chlorine atom. How to get methyl group? As I said in the last class, methyl group is obtained by removing one hydrogen from the methane. Methane is a neutral molecule. By removing one hydrogen, we will get a methyl group. So, these are the groups which are obtained by a loss of one atom from the neutral molecules. Hence, such groups are called substituent groups. So, no doubt all these are functional groups depending on the priority. So, how we can give the priority? Depending on how they will give the properties of the given organic compound. On the basis of that, so we can categorize it as primary functional group, and these are the secondary functional groups. Secondary functional groups again classified as substituent group. This is secondary, and these are substituent groups. Substituent groups are the groups which are obtained by the loss of one atom from the neutral molecule. So, their preference is less in an organic compound when they are present along with the functional group and the multiple bonds. So, ಇದರ preference ಯಾವಾಗ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಯಾವಾಗ? So, when it is present along with functional groups and the multiple bonds. When the preference of multiple bonds are less, when it present along with the functional group. So, on the basis of that, so the prefix indicates the nature of the substituent groups. Then, this prefix is added before the root word. It is added before the root word. So, prefixes are added before the root word. Now, let me give the table for the prefixes. Now, write on the nature of the substituent group. Substituent group. Substituent group in one column, and formula in the second column. Formula in the second column. Formula, and in a third column you write the prefix. Okay. In a first column you write down the substituent group, different substituent group, name of the substituent group, and in a second column let me write the formula, and in a third column let me write the prefix. So, the first substituent group, very important substituent group is alkyl substituent group. Alkyl substituent group, and it is represented by R, capital R. So, the alkyl substituent group formula is R. Let me give the example here, that is CH3 obtained from methane, C2H6 obtained from ethane, C3H7 obtained from propane. So, R is the general representation for this. Then what is the prefix that we can use if R group is present? Again we have to use the prefix alkyl. Again we have to write it in a small letter only, alkyl. If alkyl is a CH3 group, then it is methyl. I said how to name the group after the loss of one hydrogen from the methane. So, you have to remove A and E. So, alkane, from the name of the alkane, you have to remove A and E, and you have to add YL. Then, you will get the name of alkyl group. You will get the name of the alkyl group. So, that is methyl here. Methyl is the substituent group which is obtained by the loss of one hydrogen from the methane. So, if you remove one hydrogen from ethane, then what is the name? Ethyl. And this is propyl. So, like that you can give the name of the substituent group called alkyl group. Then, what is the second one? Second one is halogen, like chlorine, and bromine and iodine. Chlorine, bromine, iodine. So here you can use capital letters, no problem. So chlorine Cl, bromine Bri, Cl Bri. If it is there, then you have to name it as chloro. Halo. Halo is the general prefix for halogen atoms. These are obtained by removing one atom from the molecule, chlorine molecule. So this is bromo and this is iodo. Iodo is the prefix for the halogens, that is iodine. So chlorine, bromine, iodine. In general, they are nothing but the halogens. Halogens is halo, that we have to take the prefix. Okay. Then the third one is nitro group. Nitro group. So what is the structure of nitro group? N double bond O or NO2. NO2 is the group and the prefix is nitro. Prefix is nitro. Now let us move on to the next one. Next three here. Remaining three substituent groups. Substituent group and formula, prefix. Formula. So I'll write the remaining here itself. Now just go through it once. Alkyl group, halogen atoms, nitro group, alkyl group, respective name, halogen, halo, chloro, bromo, iodo and nitro group, nitro itself. Now move on to the fourth one. So move on to the fourth one. N double bond O, that is NO. N double bond O. So this is nitroso. Here we have to write the group nitroso. Nitroso, N double bond O, or you can write it as NO. So usually we cannot write NO here, but I have given the abbreviation N double bond O. That is the structure formula for nitroso group. And what is the prefix? Very simple, nitroso. If you remember the name of the group, substituent group, then you can write its prefix as it is nitroso. Only difference is here you can use a capital N and here you have to use small n, nitroso. Okay. Now next one is OR, or in terms O is the ether functional group. Sorry, here you have to write the name ethers. Ethers that are represented as OR, that is O is the functional group. As I said, this ether functional group is always with the alkyl group. Then what is the name? You know the prefix? Alkyl group and the oxygen, then alkoxy. O and methyl group, methoxy. So the name is alkoxy. That is the prefix. Alkyl group along with the oxygen, it is alkoxy. Now write down the example. OCH3, methoxy. Methyl group and the oxygen. OC, so prefix that we are giving. So OC2H5, then ethoxy. Ethoxy. So or alkoxy, example I have given, methyl group and the oxygen, methoxy, ethyl group and the oxygen, ethoxy. So like that you have to give the prefix for ether functional group, and they are treated as the substituent group. Now sixth one, again amines. Amines. So listen here, amines group, amine functional group, you can treat it as a primary functional group, and it also you can treat it as a substituent group and also the functional group. When an organic compound containing only NH2 group, then you have to treat it as a what? Functional group. Then you have to use the suffix as amine, and sometimes it acts as a substituent group, then where you have to use a prefix. So amines, what is the group? NH2, then you have to use the prefix amino. You have to use the prefix amino. So secondary suffix will be amine, but while if we use it as a prefix, then you have to use it as amino. Amino is the prefix for the NH2 group, that is primary amines. This is primary amines. So these are the prefixes for the given substituent groups. Substituent groups are little bit differ from those of functional groups. I explained what is the preference that we had to give for functional group and the multiple bonds and the substituent groups, as their preference is less when they are present along with the functional group. We have to consider these groups as a substituent groups. Now let us combine all the three parts of this IUPAC name, then we'll get IUPAC name of the organic compound. Then what are the three parts present in the IUPAC name of the organic compound? What are the three parts in the IUPAC name? So first part will be three parts of IUPAC name. IUPAC name consisting of three parts: prefix plus root word, then primary suffix, and then secondary suffix. Primary suffix and then secondary suffix. So complete the three parts gives the IUPAC name of the given organic compound. Now let me give one example here. Consider a given organic compound in which the selected carbon chain containing 5 carbon atoms. There are 5 carbon atoms. All the 5 carbon atoms are joined by a single covalent bond and containing OH as a functional group. OH as a functional group, and there is a carbon to carbon single bond. Along with the carbon to carbon single bond and a OH group, it containing Cl as a substituent group. Cl as a substituent group. Cl is the chlorine. Chlorine as a substituent group. Then how to give the IUPAC name? By using three parts here, which is the root word, 5 carbon atoms, root word is pent, and functional group. What is the nature of the carbon chain? Saturated, therefore we have to take the primary suffix as ane. Functional group. What is a functional group? When OH group is there and Cl is there, preference should be given to this. Therefore, it becomes a functional group. What is the secondary suffix for OH functional group? It is OL. And 5 carbon atoms, if it is there, then it will be pent. Then carbon to carbon single bond, it is there. Therefore, primary suffix will be ANE and prefix will be chloro. Prefix will be chloro. Now you add these and give the name. First comes prefix chloro, into which we have to add a root word pent and then ANE and then OL. You know that while adding secondary suffix to the primary suffix, you have to drop the terminal A. Then chloro pent all. Chloropentanol. Chloropentanol is the name of a given organic compound here. In that way, you have to add the three parts of the IUPAC name: prefix, root word and the suffix. Okay, now let me give the second example here. The given organic compound containing 8 carbon atoms and there is one carbon to carbon double bond and which containing aldehyde as a functional group and along with it containing NO2 as a group, one more substituent group. So, 3 groups are there, double bond is also there, aldehyde functional group is also there, nitro group is also there, then nitro group becomes substituent, CHO group becomes functional group and carbon to carbon double bond becomes unsaturation in the molecule. What is the root word for 8 carbon atoms? Oct, and it is ene and it is Al and this one is nitro. Correct? So, ene, Al and then nitro. Now, you add the 3 parts of the IUPAC name and give the IUPAC name. First comes prefix nitro into which we have to add oct, then ene. While adding this two, you have to drop the terminal E, Al. So, nitro, oct, enol, nitro, oct, enol, nitro, oct, enol. So, this is the IUPAC name. Nitro stands for prefix for NO2 group, oct stands for 8 carbon atoms and ene is the presence of double bond and Al is the presence of aldehyde functional group. Now, let me give the next example here. Consider a given organic compound. In this, the selected carbon chain containing 4 carbon atoms with a triple bond and it containing the functional substituent group as a CH3 group. Along with this, it containing a functional group as carboxylic acid. Now, what is the root word for this? But, and this is ine and the prefix will be methyl, correct? And COOH, oic acid, Then what is the name? So, methyl, butene, oic acid. Methyl butanoic acid. So, I drop a terminal E of this ine because it starts from oval. So, oic acid. Instead of oic acid, if CN group is present, cyanide group if it is present, then we have to use this secondary suffix as nitrile, then need not to drop the terminal E. So, YNE, nitrile. Butyl, nitrile. Need not to drop the terminal E here because it is not an oval. So, this is how we can give the root word, suffix, primary suffix, secondary suffix and the prefix for a given compound depending on the nature of the group, whether it is a functional group or the multiple bonds or the substituent groups. So, on the basis of this we can give the root word, the 3 parts of the IUPAC name. So, in the next class let us consider what do you mean by alkyl groups and how we can get the different alkyl groups depending on the nature of the alkane. So, let us move on to the alkyl groups in the next class. Thank you.